10 warning signs of excessive sugar consumption. Hey Hapties! Today we figured we would talk a little bit about sugar. While it may seem like a sweet topic, like many things, an excess of it can be devastating to your physical health. Sugar has found its way into the unlikeliest of products in recent times. Be it a jar of marinara sauce to peanut butter, it has become harder and harder to keep track of our sugar consumption. Rest assured, it is important to be aware of the dangers of sugar and the effects it has on the body. Knowing these dangers could change your entire view about sugary foods. That box of donuts may not seem all that appetizing anymore. The American Heart Association states that based on a 2,000-calorie diet, the maximum amount of added sugar consumed in a day should be no greater than 6 teaspoons for women and 9 teaspoons for men. A worrying statistic from the Dietary Guidelines for Americans states that an average person consumes 17 teaspoons of sugar a day, which accounts for 17% of their total calorie intake every day. With such scary levels of consumption, it's no surprise that sugar addiction is a real threat to human health and deserves attention. Please stay around till the end for a bonus fact, but for now, let's talk about some of the symptoms of excessive sugar consumption. You start gaining weight. The consumption of excess sugar usually means the ingestion of unnecessary calories. It is very unfulfilling food that doesn't do much at all to contain your hunger or provide the nourishment the same way as healthy nutrients as fiber and protein do. Excessive levels of sugar can cause changes in certain hormones in the body that control a person's weight. One of these hormones is insulin, and sugar consumption can cause excessive levels of it to be released into the body, eventually developing insulin resistance. Not only does this cause weight gain, but it can also lead to diabetes. Another hormone that is affected is leptin, which is responsible for telling the body when it has had enough to eat. Eating too many sugary foods has been linked to leptin resistance, which leads to overeating and weight gain. Intense sugar cravings. Sugar is an addictive substance, the consumption of which triggers the release of feel-good hormones like dopamine. Dopamine is released by the brain into your body in response to a rewarding event. This is the same process that occurs when consuming addictive drugs and highlights the severe addictive properties sugar can have. Excessive sugar intake forces us into a vicious cycle of overindulgence because we want to feel the same high over and over again. This cycle also causes peaks and dips in blood sugar levels, which requires us needing to eat more. Overconsumption can cause changes to your taste buds, making them more desensitized to sweetness. As a result, it takes more sugar to satisfy your cravings. Feeling lethargic during the day. The consumption of excess sugar can make you go through a variety of emotions and energy levels, which end in a condition known as a sugar crash. It always begins with positive feelings of being renewed and energized due to the insulin spike caused by sugar consumption. This euphoric feeling doesn't last for long though, as a lack of essential nutrients like fiber, protein, and healthy fats leads to a sudden drop in blood sugar levels and causes a crash. Having a constantly changing blood sugar level is one of the main reasons for low energy levels in the body. One effective way of avoiding this energy-draining cycle is to consume carb-rich foods, which are low in added sugars and high in fiber. Any food with protein and fats will help keep your blood sugar stable and keep your energy levels regulated. Tooth decay. Unsurprisingly, according to the American Dental Association, sugar is one of the biggest causes of tooth decay. When sugar coats your teeth, it feeds the bacteria in your mouth that starts producing acid. This acid eventually starts to erode the enamel of your teeth and leads to cavities. One of the functions of saliva is to ensure a healthy mix of bacteria inside our mouths. The excessive consumption of sugar can lead to a changing in the pH levels of our mouths, resulting in the disturbance of a delicate oral ecosystem. The excess sugar can lead to a surge in bacteria growth in the mouth and can lead to the development of cavities. The worst combination of sugars and acids comes with the consumption of sports drinks and sodas. These dangerous beverages can wreak havoc on your teeth if not moderated. Cutting down on these drinks and replacing them with healthy substitutes can be great for both your physical and oral health. Being moody and irritable. Excessive sugar intake has a negative impact on both your physical and mental health. While on a sugar-heavy diet, people may point out how irritable you are than usual. The sugar crash that usually follows after a high caused by hormonal changes can cause long periods of mood swings ranging from euphoria to anger. Sugar tends to alter the neurotransmitters in your brain that control your mood. It triggers the production of the feel-good hormone serotonin, which in excess can cause dependency issues and resistance, resulting in bad moods. As we know that a healthy balance has an effect on the proper function of neurotransmitters, it is natural that any disturbance in the balance can have an effect on your mental health. A sudden increase in carbs will follow with a boost to your mood at first, but the sharp drop that follows causes irritability in the long run. Several studies have also linked excessive sugar intake to mild forms of depression. Skin breaking out around your mouth and chin. Insulin spikes that come with sugar intake and the hormonal imbalance that it causes can eventually lead to some telltale symptoms appearing on the body. These manifest in the form of skin problems like acne and rosacea. While experts believe that acne has little to do with what you choose to eat, several studies have come forward that state that a correlation exists between skin breakouts and the consumption of sugary foods. It is thought that the changes in the production of hormones like androgens can cause inflammatory hormonal acne. These usually show up around the jawline and mouth and require a comprehensive review of your diet to fix. Insulin spikes can also increase the activity of oil glands in your skin, which lead to further aggravation of the inflammatory processes. Premature aging. Unchecked consumption of sugar can lead to permanent damage to the skin, causing wrinkles and aging. This occurs when excessive dietary sugar has a reaction to the proteins in your blood and starts to form advanced glycation end products, also known as ADEs. This damages the proteins in the skin collagen and elastin, which are responsible for the health and appearance of your skin. High sugar levels have also been linked with causing changes in the menstrual hormones for women. This can cause skin issues like acne that forms around the jawline. Sugar can also mess with the balance of gut flora by aiding in the production of harmful bacteria and yeast. This can lead to inflammation around the body and can be seen in skin conditions such as eczema. Insomnia. Consuming sugary foods like cookies and cupcakes at night can lead to trouble falling asleep. It will boost your blood sugar and spike your energy levels temporarily, making it tougher to wind down and go to bed. While it may make you relaxed and sleepy after a while because of the release of serotonin, any sleep you do get will not be as fulfilling. This is because your blood sugar may take a fall during the night, making you feel worse when you wake up. A general rule of thumb to follow if you wish to avoid this problem is to stop eating altogether for at least 2 hours before bedtime. This will guarantee that any sugar in your system has had sufficient time to pass through and also helps avoid indigestion. Depression. As a healthy diet can help your physical and mental health, a diet rich in sugar can be instrumental in destroying it. The intake of processed foods and beverages with a high concentration of added sugar has been linked to a rise of depression. Research suggests that the constant changes in blood sugar levels and the imbalance of neurotransmitter functions are both symptoms of depression caused by a sugar-rich diet. As sugar also has a hand in raising inflammation, if brain tissue is affected, it can also be a factor in depression. A study of 8,000 people over 22 years found that men who consumed upwards of 67 grams of sugar on a daily basis were 23% more prone to fall victim to depression compared to men who consumed only 40 grams a day. A similar study of 69,000 women also concluded higher consumption of sugar led to a higher percentage of mental disease. Feeling bloated. Many different foods can cause gas and other digestive problems, but one of the main culprits is foods high in sugar. Bloating has a direct relation with your diet, and an excess of sugar plays a major part in this process. If sugar is not properly processed by the small intestine, it can make its way to the large intestine and boost the production of unhealthy bacteria and yeast. When this bacterium comes into contact with the undigested food in the body, it can ferment and produce excessive gas. This can then lead to flatulence and bloating. As promised, it's time to share with you a bonus fact that will further help you understand the devastating impact sugar can have on your body. While side effects like acne and bloating are unpleasant, there are certain sinister conditions that can stem from sugary foods that could have life-threatening consequences in the long run. Food rich in sugars has been linked to diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart complications. Obesity, inflammation, and insulin resistance are all factors that contribute to increasing the risk of these diseases. The risk of heart disease is increased by up to 38% due to an unhealthy diet. While sugar may make you feel happy for a small while, it is definitely not healthy at all. Since we want you to be happy, we urge you to make immediate changes to your diet in light of what you have just learned. If you have experienced some of the more severe symptoms of excessive sugar use, it is best to seek out medical help. You can also talk to a nutritionist for help with your eating habits.